Ready, Bree? Hi, everyone, and welcome. My name is Rebecca Matter, and I'm here with our learning chief, Pam Foster. Hi, Pam.
Hi, everybody.
And co-founder and our leader, Katie Yackel. Hi, Katie.
Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Pam. Hi, everybody. So happy to be here.
Katie's actually on vacation, but she jumped in today because she's so excited about today's event. She just couldn't stay away. So she's going to be
It's
in our
big.
Q&A and
It's really big. So I need to be here. I want
excellent.
to be here. Yes.
All right, so she'll be in the Q&A and jumping on at the end. And if you have any questions, go ahead and post them. But for now, let's go ahead and start. We've got a big group here today. In fact, it's the biggest turnout we have seen since our LEAP event, back when the pandemic exploded the opportunity for copywriters and opened the door to so many new amazing careers. Well, what we're here to talk about today is just as big, just as important, and just as consequential for your future as a writer, if not more so. So, thank you for showing up. Clearly, you know when something matters, and we are so glad that you are here because what you're going to learn today is going to open your eyes, settle your doubts, and set the record straight once and for all. It is such a pivotal time for writers that we've done something we've never done before. We have created a copywriter's manifesto, a bold, clear declaration of what it now takes to succeed in this new world. And you will be the very first to see it when we share it with you in just a little bit. But before we get to all that, I want to begin by saying something that probably no one else is saying right now in the writing world. If you've been a little confused, a little uncertain, even a little discouraged lately about the idea of becoming a successful copywriter, you're not alone. And you're not wrong to feel that way because let's face it, there is a lot of noise out there. It seems that everywhere you turn, everywhere you look, you're hearing AI is coming for your job. Everyone's a copywriter now, and the market is saturated. Yet at the same time, you've got courses and so-called experts promising overnight six-figure success. Which is it? So if you've been wondering, is this still real? Is it too late to start or even to restart? Am I actually needed anymore? You're asking the right questions. And this event was created to answer them because here's the truth. Yes, AI has changed copywriting forever, but not in the way that you're being told, not in a way that eliminates the need for writers. In fact, it's done the opposite. Sure, AI has created more content than ever, but not necessarily better content. It has flooded the market with bland, vanilla words to the point where researchers are warning about a potential collapse of the AI model. And now businesses are waking up. They are realizing AI can create words, but it can't create connection. It can't think like a marketer. It doesn't understand where someone is in the customer journey. It doesn't empathize with the reader and the problems they're trying to solve. And it doesn't know how to move someone to act, to buy, to click, to believe. That is where you come in. Remember what AI is. It's an artificial intelligence. And I get it. It is tempting to think it can think, that it's smart because of the amazing responses it delivers, but it's not original. It's drawing from the oceans of information, impressively to be sure, that exists on the internet. Some of it good and on point, much of it bad and wrong. It's not you. It can't think and relate like you. If you ask it a question, it's giving you the answer of other people's opinions, people you may or may not trust. I've been trying to think of a good analogy for today, so I thought about the music industry. Today, anyone can buy professional software. They can record a song, apply effects, filters, auto-tune. You have all the tools that you need to make a hit. But does that mean that you will? Of course not, right? Because unless you have musical instinct, an ear for melody, a sense of rhythm and emotion, all that technology, it just won't matter. The music is going to fall flat. And that's exactly what's happening with AI and copywriting. The tools are powerful, but without someone skilled, strategic, and human behind them, they don't do the job, which brings me to something we're going to be talking about later. Contrary to popular belief, there is a massive group of businesses and business owners who want nothing to do with personally using AI or writing for that matter. They want a professional to guide them, to do it for them, so they can focus on what they are experts in, running their businesses. That's why this event matters, because if you still dream of living life the way that you want, working from anywhere, doing meaningful, creative work, and earning a great living with your words, you're going to see today very clearly that dream is not gone. It's just evolving. And today, we're going to show you exactly how and help you step into that new version of that dream with confidence. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. Pam, if you can help, first thing we're going to do is reset this narrative that AI is replacing writers. Like, This has made me crazy since the day we came back from the holidays 3 years ago and ChatGPT was all in the news. And this was the statement: writing is doomed. It's gone forever. AI will replace us. I said it was a myth then, and I can prove to you it's a myth now. The reality is that AI does not eliminate the need for writers. It increases the need for good ones. This is what we're going to get into and why the opportunity is so massive for those of you who are looking to make real careers. Businesses are not saying we don't need writers anymore. No business is saying that. What they're saying is we need good strategic writing that works. The market, the writing world is not disappearing. It's just evolving. And this has been happening for decades. AI is just one more evolution. But what we're talking about today is this evolution, what is happening for you right now in this space. After 2 years, right? 3 years ago, everyone said, oh, AI, it's going to replace all the writers. Companies are just going to do it themselves. They're going to use AI and do it themselves. Now, some companies tried. Some companies, the ones who were paying Fiverr and cheap labor for people to write copy and content, they got in there and they got busy with their AI. And after 2 years of the great AI experiment, business owners discovered that, uh-oh, all of our stuff is not working. AI tools don't understand voice. It doesn't understand persuasion or business strategy, and they don't want to learn and use it. They had fun playing with the tools, but guess what? They got a business to run. They don't want to learn to use it for this purpose. They want to hire someone else to do all the work for them. And I'm using the word all because as you're going to see the opportunity and what a writer is going to look like now and in the future, and where the opportunity lies is much bigger than it has been in years past. If you know how to write persuasively, and this is what AWAI has been, this is the core of AWAI since over almost 3 decades now since we started. We've always believed in the power of persuasion. If you know how to write persuasively, the financially valuable skill of persuasion, you could make a lot of money as a writer, right? That's been our thing. We've taught that from the day that AWAI was launched. Today, it still holds true. If you know how to write persuasively and you know how to guide that writing with AI, you're not just relevant, you are essential in the industry. Companies need you because this new position, this new thing that's forming has to be filled by a persuasive writer. So this is a very exciting time. The myth, again, the opportunity for writers is dying. Oh my gosh, AI is here. Why do we need writers anymore? AI can do it all for us. Companies don't need to spend on writers. That's the myth, right? The reality, the fact is that the opportunity for good writers is growing. Are little things going to be taken away? Yes. Sometimes because companies will do it themselves, like the little ads and a little email here and there, but mainly because the good writers are actually going to they can do more work now faster because of the AI tool. So the opportunity is actually growing for good writers. This is the $20 billion surprise. You might have heard this before, but if not, if AI is taking all of the opportunity away, right? And the market is shrinking. That's what people are saying in the news. That's the myth, or what people are saying is fact. If that's true, then why is it that companies are going to spend more money on copywriting services? According to Coherent Marketing Insights, the global copywriting services market, not ads and all the things, this is just copywriting services. This is money that can go into your pocket, is expected to grow from $29 billion this year to nearly $49 billion by 2032. Like, show me how that makes sense. If the fact is that the industry is shrinking, how is the money going up, right? The amount of money being spent on copywriters. Guys, I am like shaking of excitement right now. And I'm so excited for this day and this moment because this is real opportunity. This is where you know, oh my gosh, I'm in the right spot. Money is coming because the companies are coming with this. They know that they need you to seize this and help them navigate this next turn. AI is not a threat. It is your opening. It is your chance to go in and start taking up all the business that you can. I want you just to keep that in your head. Not a threat, opening. Bottom line, AI is replacing simple writing. People can spin and do little things with AI, but more importantly, the good copywriters are going to suck up all of the simple writing. It's all rolling up to the top. The role of the writer is evolving, into something far greater. We are no longer going to be the work for hire people. You want a blog post, I give you a blog post, I submit my invoice, you give me a check. That business model is going away. And the reality is, if you've been with us, we've been telling you to move past that for years now. Before AI came on, we've always encouraged you to move forward past the work for hire into somebody, a strategist, and somebody who's working with companies to do more. Now, we're going to push you into it. You're going to have to do more. And that's a good thing because you have this amazing AI tool that allows you to produce more faster, to take on more. Good writers are going to thrive in this next turn. And if those of you who take it now, this is your opportunity to seize those roles so that your role and your value continues to grow in the coming years. If you jump into writing now and you take the roles and you just keep expanding, which is what we're going to talk about, you are not only going to have a great career, you will be able to continue to grow that career for years and years to come. This is a very exciting time. Pam, I saw you unmute. What you got?
Oh, we're going to jump into like
Oh,
who is
perfect.
hiring writers. So Rebecca has made an amazing point, backed up by this incredible data we found about the growing career of copywriters, or the growing need for copywriters. And so you may be going, yeah, well, who actually needs writers now who get this combination of persuasive writing, understanding the market, understanding the client and their unique value and voice, and all of that, and putting it out there with incredible stand apart kind of copy that resonates. So we have a couple of categories, and they're both near and dear to my heart. So the small and mid-sized business world. I have worked for so many companies in this world, from my local accountant down the road to a veterinary manufacturing company that's we would consider a mid-sized business, not something as huge as PetSmart or something huge like that, but a mid-sized manufacturing B2B company that's making equipment for the veterinary world. They don't have a whole marketing department, either one of these categories. They may have a marketing director, but what I have seen over and over again in my 312 years of doing this is that they don't have a writer on staff. They don't have a graphic designer on staff. They don't have a web guy or person on staff. They farm that out and they create a virtual team. I've seen it again and again where for my own accountant, for example, I have worked for the boy, 30 years with my accountant, and I've worked with the web guy, Neil, and my graphic designer, Deanna, and other people. There's a print shop they use too, because they still print good old newsletters. And we're part of a team and they rely on us. So that's happening a lot now. A veterinary equipment company I worked for did the same thing. They don't want to have an in-house staff, but they do need messaging that's clear, consistent, and connected to their goals, and it resonates with their clients and potential customers. So B2B companies really fit this model well, because what we know is they need a lot of content. There are many, I read recently, 11 different touch points with a potential customer before that customer will make a purchase. Because a lot of times the B2B products are complex, or they're big dollar purchases like software that's going to run your whole company. That's not a go to e-commerce and click new software to run my company and buy it. They need to be convinced that that's the right software. How does it work? How is it going to help us save time and money? And that takes a lot of content. So B2B, the world, if you're brand new to this, of businesses that sell or serve other companies, there's a huge market, $47.5 trillion, that's with a T, in projected commerce by 2030. So think of all your vendors and suppliers and manufacturers and your logistics companies, shipping, training companies, safety companies. They're all vying for the same type of business. So they really got to get out their message. And they may have tried AI, or they just don't even have people in-house who get it or know how to work it. They may not have been trained on those fundamental copywriting rules that work, like we know here at AWAI. They may never have been trained on that. So they're just kind of floundering and trying it. But what they're finding is it's not resonating, it's not hitting, it's not converting. So they really need real expertise like us to make their messages clear and really connect in a human way with their potential customers. So, it's a great opportunity for all of us who want to write and help explain complex topics clearly and persuasively. So I'll give you a quick example. My veterinary equipment manufacturer client had developed this amazing ADA compliant grooming tub. So someone in a wheelchair could actually wheel over and get a dog up into the tub because they invented this ramp, and you bring the dog up, no lifting, none of that. And then you shut the door and you can wash the dog. They weren't talking about that. I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. So we created unique content. They had patented that ramp system and they weren't talking about it. So together we interviewed the engineer. We talked about why they created this product. And they said, well, we went into practices and we saw that they were struggling and there was no ability to have people with mobility issues work there. And they wanted to be more inclusive. So we, just writing a post about that and interviewing people and talking about it was gangbusters. They got a lot of leads from that. So that's just one little tiny example of how you can help tell the story, even in B2B, which I heard the other day, some people think it's business to boring, but it's not because the people who need that product will love hearing stories like that and will love companies that offer solutions that are really unique and helpful. So that's one group, B2B, tons of projects. The other group are professional service providers. And I know I talk about my accountant a lot, but that's a perfect example of a small size company. And there are large companies in this category too, who they are experts at what they do. So lawyers are experts at what they do. Accountants are experts at what they do. But I will tell you right now, I love my accountant. He doesn't even know what a web page is, or he didn't. He had to go, what's a web page again? They don't have time to learn this. They get paid to run financial solutions for their clients and keep up with tax laws and other changes. And they don't want to become writers. They don't want to dabble in AI for this purpose. And they don't have really anybody on staff that is focused on that at all. If they do have a marketing director, it's a bigger world for that marketing director. They have to worry about leads and different channels and all of this stuff, bottom line budgets and all of that. They do not have time or interest or energy to do AI or writing in general. I've learned that. I've been working in this world for a long time. They just want someone they can trust to do it for them, to sit with them and go, what is it that makes you unique? And who can I talk to in your practice? And what's cool about them? One of the things for my accountant is I write a client profile in their newsletter every time. So we interview one of their clients, and every single one is unique and cool and fun to write about. And we couldn't do that in AI. You just could not. So I even asked ChatGPT the other day, can you interview people? And they're like, no. It's like, no, we don't do interviews. So you can become that superhero for clients in this world, and it's a pretty big world. I don't, veterinarians, dentists, chiropractors, hair salons, local commercial real estate companies, anyone serving another group, those are called professional service providers, and they need your help because it's a relationship business. They need a lot of content to ramp up that relationship and keep it going. And retention is a big deal for them. So what they really want is a reliable writer who can help them stay visible, build trust, and attract and retain new customers and clients. And that also, they need someone who gets their unique value. And as writers, we learn how to dig for that. What is their USP we talk about, their unique selling proposition? What makes them the greatest choice in their business category? I don't know how AI would know with a certain company what makes them unique and what their founder story is and those kinds of things. So again, we are needed to communicate their value clearly, write content that truly connects, and it works efficiently and reliably. And you can use AI tools to get do some research, try some initial ideas and fine tune it, but they need you. they need you at the helm running that show. So that's why it's pretty cool in those two audiences, the opportunity for us. So the bottom line, who needs us? Basically, any kind of relationship business needs a relationship writer. And through AWAI, if you've studied anything from us, we are all about that conversational copy that speaks individually to someone. What is their pain? How can we solve it? Why are we the best solution? We know how to do that. So again, businesses in this category are people serving, and people serving businesses run on trust. Trust is a major issue these days because of so much fake stuff out there, or AI generic stuff out there. So, these are clients whose very livelihood and success depend on forming human relationships with the people they serve and being authentic and trustworthy out there. Even Google search, it's evolving, but it comes down to the fundamentals of what works. Even there, is there trust? Is the writer or the author of some content the person who does, if we're ghostwriting for an accountant or a lawyer, are we writing from someone who's authentic and who is real? They need to know that, and people need to know that. So I think we still have quite a big opportunity in helping companies tell their unique story and present their unique value.
I think also, if you just think about the human piece of it, Pam, you and I were talking earlier today about the difference between people who are CPAs or whatever the letters are that follow their name. Like they can both do the job, but at the end of the day, we pick the one who we like, who we want to do business, who we feel a connection with, and who we trust as a person. And I was looking in the chat, someone saying, well, maybe you can teach AI to do an interview. And you could feed it questions, but I listen. I listen for the thing that I think is interesting as a human. I listen for the thing that I think your clients are going to be interested in learning. I remember I interviewed Michael Katz a while ago, and he's very successful in this professional service provider space because he says he loves it because professional service providers they are experts in their area of certain like cybersecurity and these things that like he doesn't know anything about. His job is to have a real conversation with his clients and potential clients, not teaching them about cybersecurity. But so he has to keep asking questions to make sure that it's simplified enough where he can understand it so he can talk about it. Like in professional services space, you are expected not to know the thing. You want to be as simple as possible in your understanding. And so he said it's so interesting. He interviews his clients, each one of them once a month for like an hour. He has a Zoom conversation. They have coffee. And the things that resonate most in the newsletters that he writes are such personal things, like the fact that someone's rewatching Game of Thrones for the third time and is on episode 4. And can you believe? And that's the newsletter that gets all the response. Something that we just can't manufacture that stuff, guys. It's real. It's him having coffee with someone, listening to what they're doing, and then taking that content, what could be interesting to that person's potential clients, and having that conversation with them. That's relationship. That's real. It's me to you, not just generic, am I pasting the information out there that people, that's not what writing is. And so I love that you brought like the professional services space for me is probably one of the most untapped, just most accessible. You all know professional service providers. Why not start there? There's so much demand for so much ongoing content. Like Pam said, if they're not getting paid for their billable hour, they're not going to do it. So marketing, writing, communicating, that's not where they spend their time. The vet only gets paid if he's treating patients. He doesn't get paid for posting on social media. So just kind of put that in perspective.
Yeah, and I want to give you one other story about an interview where I picked up on something and it went in a whole different direction. I interviewed a very well-known company in the pet world and their HR director about their pet benefits that they offer. So they have some offices with pets in the office, some of them they can't. And he said, well, where they can't, we bring in therapy dogs once a month and have a space outside where people can sign up and go spend time with therapy dogs. And I was like, I have not heard of that. Tell me more. So they started telling me more about that and the stories and the emotion behind it, how much it helps with employee well-being. It's groundbreaking. And there are these nuances, and he got choked up and he said, that's why we're here. We want our employees to be well, and we want them to have the rewards of working for us. And that kind of thing is very serendipitous and very much a moment that you can stop and talk about. And yeah, I don't see how AI could do that at all. So anyway, that's just my opinion. So it worked beautifully. Okay.
I think
Moving
it's
on.
an important opinion, showing that the real, and that's how we differentiate, right? By the real. Anybody can talk about anything, but the thing that really like gets you in the heart, that's what we want to bring forward in our clients' businesses. So let's talk about some mistakes, right? We have this whole new world, all these people talking about all this stuff, and now we're charging in, and I'm watching it. I've been watching it unfold for 3 years, and there are some mistakes that you can just avoid now, especially if you're just starting out. I see some of you saying, I've been around AWI for a while. Is now a good time to jump in? Now is the best time to jump in. Like, lucky you. Those of you who've been around a while, you have the skills that you need. You have persuasion. Now we're just learning how to use AI. Your mission here is going to be to jump in and just change the way you're doing business, which we're going to talk about. But for those of you jumping in now, opportunity is here. Again, I was on a webinar with Mark Ford, one of the founders of AWI yesterday, and he was saying, like, gosh, for those who strike in the next year to the next 18 months and get in this space, like, they're going to take the opportunity. And so it's such a hot time right now, which is why I'm so excited to be here. But let's talk about some mistakes so we can just go ahead and avoid them and move forward into this new world. Mistake number one, chasing tactics instead of building skills. Every time something new comes out, everybody floods everything with tactics. Remember social media, digital copywriting? Everybody had the new tactics. We always smile when we see the newest tactics because we're like, oh, that's not really that new. It's just a persuasion in a new package, right? They would call it these things. They would create these great fancy marketing names. At the root, it's persuasion. It's customer journey. Do you know where your person is in their decision making? And can you communicate with them clearly in a way that gets them to move forward and take action? Persuasion. It's always persuasion. So if we're just doing tactics, we always learn at the end that tactics only get us so far. If we don't understand why things work, then we can only eke our way forward. So getting caught up in the conversation of this is working, this is working, this is working, just see all that as noise. Learning from prompt hacks. Prompt hacks, great. We need to learn how to prompt AI, but the hacks of making it work better and all of this stuff and not understanding the why, that is a massive mistake. Never developing persuasive writing skills or learning marketing strategy. This is something that AWI has been rooted in for almost 3 decades now, and you will not be in a meeting with me or any of our team where we're not saying, but why? Why does that work? Because if we don't understand the why, we can't replicate the good and we can't fix the bad, right? We understand persuasion. Those of you who've been through the AWI method, you've been through the accelerated program with us, you have foundation, you have persuasion, you have marketing strategy. You just didn't know it. We didn't call it that, but we taught it to you anyways, because we've always known that this was the case. And in this world of AI, it is more important than ever, because people who think that they can just go and use a tool and output something that works, spoiler, it isn't. You're just using a template, a tack, a trick, but you don't understand the why. And eventually that won't work the way, or you put it up against somebody who understands persuasion and they're going to beat you every day of the week. So those of you who've been with AWI, who've been learning persuasion, those of you who are new to AWI, know that we have been rooted in this for almost 3 decades now. We are where you need to be, and we can help you. That's just using a tool. Tool is easy. Persuasion is where the weight is. Going after tactics, trying to find these easy buttons and the things, it's just a trap, and it does not lead to a successful and fulfilling writing career. If that's what you want, if you want a career as a writer, you're in the right place, and this is the best time to start because of this opportunity. Let everybody else chase. Let everyone else have these conversations and point to all the things. Fine. Don't spend any of your time on that, though. Continue to learn persuasion. Double down on your efforts and understand it on a deeper level. That will lead you forward to having a very successful writing career. Mistake number 2, thinking that AI is the skill. I'm watching the chat blow up. People saying AI is a tool. It's a tool. It's a tool. It's a tool, guys. It's not the skill. You have the skill, right? The scalpel, whatever. They're tools that the trained person uses, but the user is important. The scalpel doesn't just get the job done. The doctor who knows how to use it gets it done, right? That person using the skill matters. AI is not the skill. So learning to prompt ChatGPT is not the same as being a writer. Anybody can prompt ChatGPT. I understand persuasion. I can prompt it really well, and I can edit the output even better. You can too. You have the skills. And that's why it's important for you to continue. I've been doing this for over 20 years personally now, and I'm still learning, still honing my craft, still working to really understand persuasion on a deeper level. And I just keep getting better. And so will you. Keep at it. AWI, AI. I can't tell you how many times I get AI and AWI coming out of my mouth and I flip them. We need to it's too close. So my mouth gets in trouble. AI is a tool, but it needs human judgment. It needs your empathy and it needs strategy. You need to understand the why to work. So that's what everything that you've been learning from AWI and everything that you're going to learn, we're just going to tack AI on AWAI, AI on top of it, and you will have this massive future. So good persuasion plus the AI tool equals big future. That's where we are today.
I think AI is the tool, AWAI is the mastery. How about
I
that?
love it. We're the trainers.
Yeah.
One thing I want to touch on really quick, you might have heard of this in the news right now, and I mentioned at the beginning, is the warning of the AI model collapse. Something to think about as you are using these things, just to be aware. And I'm seeing more and more people saying, oh, it's starting to get a little bit wonky on me. But as systems like ChatGPT churn out more and more content and are now flooding the internet with more and more ChatGPT and other AI service content, people are publishing this content. They are increasingly being trained on their own outputs. It's kind of like making a copy of a copy of a copy, kind of scary. So without human input, like we need to have where the humans are inputting more than the AI is inputting. Otherwise, it's going to become very distorted over time. The article was actually posted in Nature 2024. The model becomes poisoned by its own projection of reality. So something to think about and be aware about when you're using AI. And again, just wanted to bring it up in case you're reading about it, but just be mindful when you are using it to pay attention to the output that it's going to get a little bit weaker for a while as we dump more and more AI output into its pool of what it's learning from. So just interesting point there. Mistake number 3, the final one, is ignoring client realities. We've touched on this, but I just want to make sure that we all walk away from this today. Clients don't want just writers. They never have, right? I've always encouraged you to think of yourself in the boat with the client. What are we trying to accomplish from this? What are we going to do from this? What do we want this email to do? What do we want to sell? What are we hoping to accomplish, right? We're not just work for hires. AWI has always been rooted in this mindset of you guys are worth so much more than that. We're not just writing words on a paper, and that's not our value. Our value is in the heart. Our value is in the care of wanting to write for companies who we believe in. Like Pam's story about the therapy dogs, or the bathing for someone, the ADA compliant bathing, the bath for dogs, like those stories, to get behind a company like that and bring those things forward into the industry, like how great is that? That's what they want that too. They want writers who care about their mission, who care about what they're trying to accomplish. We're part of the team. And the other reality, and I hope you guys just like, I don't want to see this anywhere on social media, that they want to use AI. Nobody wants to personally use AI to do the job. I run a company, I run a team along with Katie. Like, I use AI in my life, but I'm never going to replace my copywriters and marketers. They can use AI all they want. At the end of the day, though, I want writers and marketers who are getting it done. I don't have time to get it done. I have to run a company. So when you think about those things, it's AI is a tool that not everybody is I'm going to use it for different things. I'm going to use it for research, for ideas. I will use it in my life too. And I do use it, but I'm saying it's not going to be to the point where I can replace my writers and my marketers. I need their ideas, their empathy, their feelings, and their production of all the things that it takes to run a successful company. So when we think about business owners, AI is replacing writers, they're just going to use AI. They can't. They have businesses to run. They want partners who understand their business, connect on a human level, and care about the results. And isn't that what we've always wanted as business owners? I'll tell you right now, it is. It's not really changing. And I don't care if you use AI, which is the other big thing. So Pam, why don't we talk about it? Because actually, not caring, I actually want you as a business owner to use AI. Why don't you talk about the 5 skills that when we look at a successful copywriter in today's new world, what are the skills that we're moving towards that we need to possess as writers?
Okay, I will be happy to take that over. Persuasive writing is the thing that has worked since the beginning of advertising. We studied it 100 years ago. There were books written on it. And AWAI was founded on it, that writing, that, and I don't, if you're brand new to this, you've never heard of us before, I just want to be very clear. Persuasive writing isn't strong arming. It is showing someone why a solution, your client's solution, for example, is the best one for them. And it's going to go beyond just being a solution. It's going to transform from somebody struggling to somebody thriving. And it could be something as it could be something like a knee issue, and we finally found a way to get you back on your feet. And so this is the unique way that we're going to help you get active again and be happy. Or it could be anything, B2B, like why this software is going to change the whole process, save you time, save you money. So it's, to me, it's solution writing, and it's very personal. You want to know the prospect. We talk a lot about that here, and not just at a surface level, like how old are they, what is their education level, but really deep down, what do they worry about at night? Now, if you've been with us a while, you know this stuff already. You know that you have to start with what is the prospect's problem to solve, what makes them worry about it, and how can your client solve that problem in a really great way. That's really it. And we have the 4 Ps, paint a picture of that, and bring them a promise of solutions, of outcomes, of transformation, and then give you proof, all the proof that backs up whatever promise you're offering. And then I forgot the 4th P. Oh, help me. It's getting them
Picture,
to
promise, proof, and push.
push. Thank you. The call to action. Okay. So if we've convinced you that this is amazing, or if you want to learn more, then you push them to the next step. Sorry, I blanked out for a second because I'm so excited about all this. So persuasive writing will never be put aside. It is the most important thing as a writer that you can do for your clients and for your own business. You even have to think about, who do I want to work with? What do they worry about? Are they overwhelmed with AI, or are they not even paying attention to AI like my accountant because tax laws keep changing? Things like that. You're going to be a hero to clients and to yourself if you really understand we're solving needs, we're solving problems, we're helping people with a desire they have to make their life easier in some way. Okay, so enough about persuasive writing, but that is the core. And then it's really good if you know about marketing and how it works. And you don't have to become a marketing expert. We have a lot of great information that's very bare bones, but super helpful and eye-opening. For example, the customer journey. If you understand that in a lot of businesses, decisions aren't made just going to a website like Chewy in my pet world and ordering a dog bowl or dog treats. It's so much bigger than that. You have to first make people aware of your product or your solution. Then you have to make them engage in you in some way, maybe a free newsletter or a video demo or something that moves them along in the journey. Then you might offer something that's kind of irresistible, the right solution at the right time with the right price, and then they become a customer. And then the fourth one that a lot of companies overlook is retention. All of those stages, and we have a link to an article that walks you through how that all works, requires content and copywriting and thoughtful copy that is back to that core. Understanding the prospect, here's the solution, let's guide them along the decision path, and boom, they decide to become a customer. And then we welcome them, make sure they're happy, maybe get them to try something else too that we offer. That's the whole marketing journey. So if you understand that, you're in good shape. If not, you can learn quickly through us. Then we have AI enhanced workflow baked on top of this. So you, as a human being, understand the persuasive writing principles of really getting to the core of what your client's customer is seeking. Then you can use AI to research that world, maybe research some information about that demographic or that prospect profile. Maybe research some topic ideas, but then maybe even post some initial copy thoughts, prompts to come up with some initial copy. But then you, as the human being, have to go in and go, all right, does this really speak to that problem or wish or hope or struggle? Is it really shining the customer's product in the best way possible, in a unique way that stands apart? I can't tell you, I was looking the other day for B2B newsletters because that's what I do for fun. And I was looking in the chiropractor world, local chiropractic offices, and I noticed something not great. There are newsletter generator companies out there that just give chiropractic practices generic articles, and the chiropractors use the generic articles. And so you could have 6 chiropractors in Boston with the same content on their websites. Is that helping any of those chiropractors? No, they have to take a personal spin on it or make it unique or do something that sets them apart. So I got off a little bit of a track there, but when you're doing AI enhanced workflow, I feel like those are the generic newsletters out there. It's generic content. Now, what are you going to do to make it really unique to your client? That's where you come in and you talk to your client and you ask them about, all right, what makes your approach to back pain especially unique when there's 50 articles out there that are generic about back pain? So that's where I was going with that. There was a point. So again, AI, you can help clients so much using those tools to make your copy better and then make you trigger the next part, which is editing and optimization. So maybe you get some copy from AI tools. And a lot of companies just don't have time to work on the prompts and all that stuff. And what you do is then look at the nuances, and that's through editing, knowing your persuasive writing foundation, knowing the journey that client's customer goes through, and then you edit. It's copy editing, but it's also voice editing, it's story editing, it's flow editing. You might put in quotes that you can only get by talking to your client. That's where your role comes in as an amazing not polisher, but beyond that, you make it shine and you make it unique. So that's a skill to have. And then finally, how do I get these clients anyway, Pam? Well, we teach you how to approach companies that are eager and looking to find you, because maybe they've dabbled in AI and it's pretty generic, or maybe they just don't even want to bother with that. Like my accountant is never going to look at creating content in AI, never will. So they reach out to me, I write their newsletter, we talk about topics, we brainstorm unique angles, they write to their audience in Maine, mainly in Maine. And, that's unique to them. So these 5 skills are really what we've been teaching again since, 1997, really, except for the AI piece, which we can now roll on top of that. So Rebecca keeps saying, this is our opportunity, you guys. And you're right. She's right. Mediocre isn't going to cut it, especially in a very competitive market, which, by the way, almost every niche, your clients are going to have competitors. So you have to help them stand out and really connect with their prospects to make a difference and build their business. So we help you find those clients through all of our programs.
And if you're Circle of Success, you have access to all of the programs that you need for each of those buckets. So if you don't know where they are, it's the AWAI method, right? It's marketing strategy. We have that program. It's using AI. We have that program. It's editing. We have that program. You have a whole section in Circle of Success on client building and client getting and business building. So that's all there. And for those of you who aren't Circle of Success, you should be. But if you're not Circle of Success, it's all in our catalog. So you can access these things, and we're going to keep evolving our ways of training. We've now put in AI. No program is created anymore without AI, and every program has been retrofitted to include AI. It's not a could we, should we, it just is now. So think of it that way. AI is being incorporated into everything, but I don't want you to look at that list and go like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. You already have a lot of it. If you've been through the AWAI method, you have a lot of it. If you're an accelerated program, you have a lot of it. If you're Circle of Success, you have access to all of it, literally in your catalog and through your mentors. And if you're not Circle of Success, it's all in our catalog. Just let us know and say, I need some help with using AI. We'll show you the program. I need some help with editing the output. We'll show you it's all there. So we've been doing this. And as we move forward to the new world, we will continue to modify because AI, I mean, we've come out with 3 different training programs. As AI continues to move forward, we will move forward with you guys. And you can count on AWI to always be modifying. We started with sales letters in the mail, right? We moved to the internet, we moved to social media, we moved to content during the pandemic. Like we've always been doing all the things, and we'll just keep doing all those things right along with you. So don't ever worry about that. So let's now talk about the dream. You guys came to AWI with a dream to live the writer's life. I hope by now you believe that AI did not end the dream. It just redefined it. It looks different. But let's look at now the job of the writer in the new world. And we've talked about this, but just to pull it together with a bow, it's to help plan and strategize the copy and content. We're not just going to be waiting for someone to give us a job. We're going to be saying, all right, Pam, what's the goal? What are we trying to do here? Okay, here's what I'm thinking. We're going to go with this and we're going to go with that. And this is what we're going to do. Sound good? All right, I'm going to go do that thing. How great is that? We're in full control in the new world. We're not waiting for projects. We're driving. The best, most successful copywriters from AWI have been doing this anyways. We always have recommended that you move in this position. All we're doing, AI is accelerating you into it because this is where the money and the opportunity has always been. This is where the solid relationships with clients, the predictable income, like everything that we want for you has always been at this phase. It's just that the work for hire stuff feels easier. But we've been saying, come on, let's get to the next level. AI is just going to make us go forward to be able to take on more because we can. You can do all the things. So help them. This is what we're going to do. And then we're going to go, and I'm going to go do some work. I'm going to create those things with or without AI. I can use AI. Sometimes I just like to write. I'm a writer. I love to write. I love the feelings of the keys under my fingers. I love to sit outside and go for a walk. I love to be in the shower and come up with an idea where I'm like, yes, I know what I want to say. Quick, get out of the shower, dry off, get to the keyboard because I want to write the thing. So sometimes I just like to write the thing by myself, but you can do it with or without AI. But I do recommend that you use the tool for research, for ideas, for first drafts, for proofreading, like little things like that. Like use it to streamline and make it faster. And this is where I really want you to lean in and then expand your role by taking on more and more aspects of the creative process. I brought up Mark Ford earlier. He and we laughed on a couple of different webinars now because there's all these things out there. Just say no more. Like take it away, tell more people no. And we're like, well, what made us successful was saying yes. What if we wrote a book on saying yes? Like what has made me in the position I am today and successful in this world is I just said yes. I said yes and I asked for more. Can I do this? Can I do this? Can I do this? And every successful writer will tell you, Pam came in. What can I do with AWI? She was a member like you. She joined Circle of Success. Then she came to our events. Then she became a speaker. Then she became a teacher. Then she became, because she was like, what else can I do? What else can I do? When I look at all of the most successful writers, it's what more can I do? We're like octopuses. One more arm, just take it, take it, take it. Take away that today. Expand your role. Every client that you work with, you can still limp in on a soft project, but then immediately think of yourself as like a one-man agency. What else can I do? In the boat, and just expand your role by taking on more and more aspects of the creative process. Maybe you also do design using AI. Maybe you also bring in, you don't have to, but you could. You could just keep taking it all in because you can work faster. And the more you use AI, the faster you will get at using AI. I coached a Circle of Success member last Friday, and he said he used AI to do these memos, and it took him two days back when he first started. And now with AI, it's taken him 2 hours because he has learned how to use the tool. It's all here. And he says, I still have to edit the output, but I'm so much faster and I can write about things that I didn't even understand before because of AI. And now he's this interesting idea. He actually used it in his full-time job. I don't want to say your name in case you're here. I don't know if you want me to share your story, but I want to share your story so bad. But he learned what he learned from AWI. And then instead of just jumping to a client and saying, why I got to get clients and leave my job, he was like, maybe I'll just use what I've learned from AWI at my job. He used it at his job and everyone's like, huh, that's pretty great. And they did it again. Huh, that's pretty great. And now his confidence is building because he keeps doing it. And now other teams are asking, can you do that for me? Can you write this for me? Can you write this for me? They could use AI also, but they're not, just like we know. He's the writer and they keep so now by using what he learned from AWI at his full-time job, he's actually now has the confidence to push outside the job and to go get clients, something that he was struggling with before. So interesting little takeaway there, but expand the role, take on more. Yes, yes, yes. And can I, what if we, this would be great. And the more you work with a client, the more ideas you have. Become indispensable to your clients. Back in the day when they had lots of contractors doing lots of things, if you let one go, you were losing this one function. They let you go, that's 20 functions that they're losing. Good luck. Become. This is the opportunity. You now get to become indispensable to your clients because you can do more because of AI. Persuasion plus the fast power tool of AI means massive quality, good writing output from you, indispensable to clients. And that is an opportunity for success. Becoming a writer today just means steady work, right? Long-term relationships, reliable income, unlimited growth potential. How is that different than what it was before? The writer's life, the dream that we all come to. You can still choose your projects and your clients. You can work from anywhere, and you can build a fulfilling writing career with purpose and flexibility, right? Purpose. We get to work with clients that we really want to work for and help them achieve their missions and their goals. So where do we go now? What happens now? Like I said, a few years ago, you could learn how to write some content pieces, maybe a blog, maybe some emails, and start calling yourself a copywriter. And that worked. There was a big demand for just content just a couple of years ago, and clients were willing to pay anyone who could write a decent blog or content article. But now the game has changed. AI has accelerated that shift into the strategic piece that I've wanted you to be. That's always been the goal for you. Today, businesses aren't looking for just content creators or even people who call themselves freelance writers. They're looking for partners, writing professionals who understand marketing, who think like a business owner, who can help plan and write copy that moves the needle and delivers results. Landing pages, lead magnets, email sequences, social media, all of it's still there, but they want writers who can put it all together so it meets customers where they are in the moment. One person doing all these things just makes it cohesive and better, and that is great news for you. Like I've said, it's always been at the heart of what we teach here at AWAI. It's in you because when you know how to do those things, you're not competing with the crowd anymore. You're not vulnerable to AI tools replacing you. You're in demand. You're worth more. And you're trusted by clients who rely on you again and again. That is the difference between someone calling themselves a copywriter and being a writer who can have an impact on their clients' success. And that's our mission here at AWAI going forward too, to help you become that skilled, strategic, future-ready writer and give you everything that you need to build a career you control with confidence, capability, and support from us every single step of the way. Circle of Success members, I mentioned, you're going to see a lot of changes coming. I mean, we've seen a lot of changes coming already, or have seen a lot of changes, but you're going to see even more. This industry is moving fast to all the training and the resources that you already have access to, including our Copywriting Academy. Stay tuned for that. It's part of your program, and it's going to be pretty awesome. We're shifting the bulk of our focus here, our energy, and all of our innovation to keeping your skills up to date so that you can continue to evolve right along with this industry without missing a beat. And if you're not a Circle of Success member yet, I say it jokingly, but now I'm going to say it seriously. You should strongly consider joining, along with getting unlimited access to our massive library of training and resources, which includes the 5 core capabilities we discussed earlier. And every new training that we develop in the future, you get help landing clients and building your business, as well as personalized mentoring. As a COS member, it's what we call them, COS, you never have to guess what to do next because you have mentors, coaches, and the entire AWAI team behind you. And with so much changing so fast, we can help you navigate it all. But either way, the opportunity for all of you right now is so big for writers. You just need to move. The industry is only going to continue to evolve. The smaller one-off writing jobs will go away because the good writers, the ones who possess the skills that we shared earlier, are going to take all of it, thanks to the speed that AI now gives us to turn out more than ever at a much faster rate. And the ones who jump in and claim those roles will not only survive this shift, they are going to thrive for years and years to come. And just as the copywriting market is shifting to fewer, more capable writers, AWAI, we're going to shift our focus to fewer and more committed students as well. Fewer students means more attention, more individualized support, and more resources devoted to helping each one of you succeed. In other words, we want to focus on the writers who are truly ready to step forward, who want to take advantage of everything this new era offers, and who are committed to building long-term success. If that is you, We look forward to working together to build the career that you want as a copywriter in this new AI era. Now, before we wrap up, there's one more thing we've been saving just for the right moment. Earlier, I mentioned that this event is different and that we've done something we have never done before. For the first time ever, we've created what we're calling the Copywriter's Manifesto, where copywriting is headed in 2025 and beyond, and what it means for writers. It's bold, it's clear, and it is myth busting. And it lays out exactly what's happening right now, even more detail than I shared today, what's shifting in the copywriting world, what clients want, and how you can thrive if you make the right moves now. We created it for one reason, to help you navigate the new landscape with confidence. It's not hype, it's not theory, it's a grounded, realistic plan for becoming the kind of writer who's in demand, not replaced. And because you're here with us today, we want you all to be the first to see it. So you can download it at AWAI.com/manifesto. Take the time to read it and picture your future in it, because that writer, the one that the clients are looking for, can be you. And we'll be here to help you become that writer every step of the way. Now with that, let's go ahead and open it up for questions.
Yeah, I thought I would leave this slide up instead of the question slide
Sure.
so people can grab those links.
And
or-
Circle of Success, we are opening membership because of this webinar. We thought this is the perfect time for it. If you're new to AWI and you don't know about Circle of Success, definitely go check it out. If you've been thinking about joining, now is the time to join, because we are going to move. And if you are in Circle of Success, get ready, because we are going to move. Also, COS members, if you missed that session with Mark yesterday, it's on your member page. It was fantastic. I highly recommend that you check it out.
And I had a couple questions from Infinity members. Go to your page and you will see a special offer for you if you go to your Infinity member page. And if you want to know the nuances, the differences, I really suggest speaking to either Barb or Eric at the number up on the screen, 561-404-7735. They've been advising people for 20 years now on, best next steps, and have worked with so many of our members. They'll be great to talk to. Oh my goodness. I don't even know where I was trying to group the questions, but then they're all just so good. But I do just want to start with some of the overarching comments and excitement about all this. And George says, when I take my car to a mechanic, I don't tell him which tools to use. I just want him to get me back on the road.
Exactly.
Yep. And Bonnie, AI doesn't live your life and experience what you do. All the emotions and impact, that still comes from you. That's what clients are still looking for. And RA says, anyone can swing a hammer or rock a saw, but most can't build a home. Great tools, but talent, experience, etc. are still required. Which, again, is exactly the point that we're making here. Let's see. But I do want to get into some of these really good questions.
And thank you all the Circle of Success members who are shouting out about how great Circle of Success is. It's so fun to watch the whole thing blow up. It's best investment I ever made, and it's just so great.
Yeah.
And I love that you all are loving this content. Our goal, our intention was to really, we've been talking about this internally for so long. I've been saying this since, again, almost 3 years now, but just to give you back the confidence. Stop listening to the chatter and the noise. It's just people who are either not educated on the topic or who are also running around like chickens without heads, fearing the fears. In life, we can fear the fears and we can stop, or we can look for it's happening either way, right? The world is evolving either way. We can either evolve with it, or we can get in the bunker and just hide and not do anything. Sorry, I'm not a not do anything kind of girl. I want to get out there and take full advantage. So evolve with this. Look to see okay, things change. Where's the opportunity? We've talked about it today. That was our intention, just to show you, look for the opportunity. Here's the opportunity, rather than fear this thing that's changing. Life changes. It changes really fast, and it's just getting faster. But it's our job to float down that river and change right along with it.
And here, I love this from Michelle. Thank you for sharing this, Michelle. AI is the perfect tool for a career shift. It gives you ideas and pain points for an industry you're just learning about. I've been a business owner and entrepreneur for years, but I have a client who has peer groups of executives. With the help of AI, I'm able to understand the pressure CEOs and C-suite executives live with every day. It's helped me dive in, and now 6 months later, I understand them. It took AI to help me
I
make
love
that
that.
transition. And again, that's what it is. Now here's a really a good question, and I'd love to, I just want to get everybody talking together here because Jenny was asking, how do you handle talking to clients about use of AI? Are you ethically obligated to share that you use it with them, especially if they don't ask?
You can. It's part of a natural conversation now. I would just talk about it, just normal. In B2B, they do have what's called an AI policy that you can publish. I know Steve Maurer, who's in the chat, he's one of our Circle of Success mentors, and he can share. He's got a really fun, different one. Steve Slonwhite has a much more formal one, but if you just search AI policy, I think we actually have some content on our website as well. You can have a policy on your website, how I ethically use AI. Now, some companies are going to ask, I saw some questions about white papers. We have some really great questions in the Q&A, are going to ask you not to put their stuff into AI because they want to protect it. It's proprietary. And so we get into things like white papers and technology and what makes my company unique. The last thing I want to do is put it into a system that is accessible by other people. So there are some ethics around the usage of AI, scraping websites, scraping content, where it's pulling from, and what is acceptable. That's a big debate going on right now. So you will want to talk to clients about AI, but everyone expects you to use it. It's just now a matter of how you're using it. And you'll want to know if for some reason they don't want you, again, like in the B2B space and technology, they're not going to want their stuff in an AI tool because they don't want anyone else to know. Like that's their secret sauce. It would be like McDonald's putting its secret sauce. I guess we know that. Coca-Cola putting its secret sauce in an AI tool. Like, no, can't do that. So
And
don't have fear around it. Just be open and have conversation.
exactly. And Daniel, he shared that one of his clients has supported him in embracing AI since 2022. They recognize the need for an experienced expert to guide the AI. So that's the conversation, is how the expertise you're bringing that will be guiding any of the AI input that you get. And I think that's all that you really need to focus on. I'm glad you just touched on Gloria's concern about white papers. So Gloria, I hope that makes you feel
And
more.
you should be using them like someone you just shared earlier, being able to use AI to learn about something complicated. The barrier to entry for writers is lower now. Steve Solano was talking about this in our B2B intensive that's going on right now, that the barrier of I can't write about these technical things because I don't have that technical experience. AI will help you. It's the barrier is down. You can learn about that now, which is great. So if you're writing white papers about complex topics that maybe you're not familiar with, have AI explain it to you. Get into the on the level that you need to be. The gentleman I was telling you about earlier that I coached, the joke was like he wrote these memos and then someone asked him, like, can you write about this thing? You're gonna have to write about this new thing over here. He's like, I don't even know what that thing is. So he went to AI to explain to him what it was. And then he was able to turn the prompt into writing about the report. And then he was able to edit the output because he's a writer. He could make it into a readable, but at least he knew what he was writing about. So use
And
AI in that way.
and you know what, Rebecca, I would even venture to guess that he's going to do a better job because he's going to be explaining it to somebody that doesn't understand it. So it's going to be that much clearer. It's not going to miss steps making those assumptions. I mean, it's just a guess, but
Yeah.
that I'd put my money on that.
One
Um,
small thing for those of you who are having to leave and asking about playbacks, there will be a playback. I'll get it to you later today. In addition, we're going to encore this next week because we broke our records as far as sign up goes. So we couldn't even get everybody in to Zoom. So we are planning to encore Monday on, I believe, YouTube. So if you missed it, if you want to catch it again, if you want to get back in live, we'll be doing it on Monday, and you'll also get access to the playback later today.
okay. Tori, I'm so glad you asked this. She's wanting to know, uh, is this going to apply to copywriting for nonprofits as well? And, so basically,
Yeah.
Does this apply across all industries, all niches?
I'll let Pam talk about nonprofits specifically, but I want you guys from this point forward to think of yourself as an agency. You don't have to do all the things from day one, but you're going to start thinking about the expansiveness of an agency. What are all the things that you could do? The company, the industry, none of that matters. It's the output that you can now create because you've got the speed of AI. You still need persuasion. You still need to understand all the marketing pieces that go into it. I can't just use AI and say, help me write for the nonprofit, right? I have to understand donors. I have to understand the kinds of materials that they use, what actually gets people to make donations. I have to understand their marketing process, but I can churn faster now because I can get first drafts written. And so think just agency from here on out. Like I am a one man, I can take it. I can, yes, 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 yes. Like I can do it all. And it's not about working harder or more. It's about more output because you have this tool.
And Tori says she hasn't taken the metaphorical plunge yet. I encourage you to do it now. And just this is the time to do it. So.
I don't want to say like urgency, like if you don't, I've always hated the fear of like, if you don't do it now, you got to do it now. I don't like that. Our AWAI has always been rooted in hope. We will help you no matter when you join. So if you join 5 years from now, that is what it is. Although I will say the biggest regret, the only regret I ever see again and again and again is I wish I had started sooner. But you're never going to hear from us. You got to do it. Otherwise, you're going to fail. You're never going to make it. That's not our style. What you need to understand, though, is that right now the opportunity is so great because this thing is opening and this role is forming. And if you learn copywriting now, you have the advantage to take the early positions, to take these 18 months. And it's not that 18 months from now there will be no opportunity. It's that 18 months from now, you could be a full-blown agency. Like you're going to be able to move so much faster right now if you go in now into this, then 18 months might just take you longer to get there. So it's not, you can't do it then, but you should do it now if you can, because this is one of those moments in time that just doesn't come around very often. Pam, I did want to hear your input on nonprofits. Sorry, Katie.
Yeah, and again, Tom, I hope that answers your question too. He was worried that if he didn't do it now, if he'd be missing the boat. And
We'll
again,
be here for the next 30 years. Don't you worry, Tom.
exactly. And they'll be, yeah. So again, just the sooner you get started, the further along you'll be. But everybody's got to work for what works for them, work with what works for them.
Yeah, and for nonprofits, you guys, out of all of the types of writing you might do, I have come to learn that writing for nonprofits is an extremely emotional thing. You're going to be telling stories that tug at the heartstrings so people will open their wallets. Just think of these poor dogs. I'm saying it with a smile because I'm a sucker for all of the poor stories about dogs that need to be rescued. So you're going to be asked in the nonprofit world to tell stories. And that is something that is very unique and individual and human, and you need to get the stories and create the dialogue or the narrative of it. So there might be some AI elements to that as far as research or topic ideas or angles, or you might, I haven't done that with stories, so I don't know, but there may be some cool ways to try and use it for that. But ultimately, bottom line, you're going to be tugging at the heartstrings or making a case for why a certain nonprofit should be donated to versus other options that anyone has. I hope that helps, but it's a very—
And you bring up a good point, Pam, in that the stories are unique to the organization. I can't talk about every story. I have to talk about a story that my organization, the kid that I helped, the house that I saved, the family that I helped replace somewhere else after something happened to their situation. Like it's our stories. And to your point earlier, interviewing and getting those stories and incorporating them in a way that allows the reader to feel that story is just something that writer has to do. We're so good at that, guys. That's our jam. All right.
I wanted to thank Daniel Taylor for noting that if you have the Essential Business Templates program with us, if you haven't looked at it for a while, we did add an AI policy template to that. So you can make it yours any way you want, but at least there's a structure to work from if you'd like.
And he hasn't taken full advantage of his COS mentorship. And what is wrong with me? Ugh. I'm like, well, now's the day, Robert. Like, let's do it now. The best times, like when you sign up and everything, and you're going to take full advantage. But timing is everything, right? Like, it's got to be right for you, right time. This is the right time in the industry. So maybe you were just waiting for this time. So jump on in. COS, we're always here for you all the time. If you go away and come back, we're still here. We're always still here, evolving right along with the industry
Right.
and ready to jump in and support you. And it's even bigger and better than it ever was before. So now is definitely a great time to jump in, Robert. We got you.
And it sounds like, Robert, what's that expression? A door closes, a window opens. It sounds like you are at that point in your life. So
Yeah.
that's great. Oh, and Ray wants us to point out that agencies can specialize in niches as well. And of course, yes.
Yeah. Great point. Great point.
There's
More
something.
do you want to run through Q&A, or Katie, do you have a certain order you want to handle them in? Or I could just start at the top.
Oh, I think we've gotten a lot of these already, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I put them into a Word doc as I was going along. So I haven't been dismissing them, but I think we're good.
Jim says, I found a quote from the CEO of NVIDIA, who is providing chips for a lot of AI companies. You won't lose your job to AI. You'll lose your job to somebody who uses AI. So that's definitely the benefit of using it. Tina brought up the idea of sustainability of AI. Apparently, there are concerns about the amount of energy that it needs. I am not well versed on that yet, but that is very interesting.
Yeah, we actually had quite a few comments about that, as well as there being a limited capacity, almost like somebody referred to it almost as AI dementia. And again, we don't want to get too heavy into that stuff, but as it develops and goes on, I think just the human touch, the human expertise is
Just
going.
awareness. Like,
Yeah.
we were watching a thread over on LinkedIn where someone was saying that she's been using AI for 9 months in her role, and all of a sudden it's starting. She says you got to watch it like a hawk because it's going a little bit wonky from time to time and taking me down the wrong path. I'm like, that's so interesting. So we just have to be aware. It's a great tool, but even the human awareness, right, of when the tool is leading us astray is something to keep in mind. I love it. Garbage in, garbage out. So it says you have to be concerned about what the info AI collects. You still have to do your own research. And Pam, you were talking about this before we jumped on, saying that you use it for a research tool and then you research all of its findings to make sure that they're all legit.
Yes. So good. I'm glad you brought that up. So AI is being proven to not always cite its sources or have accurate information. So you just want to be aware of that. So what I do, like if I go into perplexity.ai and I ask some questions, it gives you the sources of where their answers came from. So then you can click on the sources and verify that that is accurate information or it's an accurate website, things like that. And that again is where you benefit your client, because if they don't know that and they just go in and take verbatim whatever was delivered on AI, they could have some bogus information in there. So you really want to be the person to verify those sources and make sure everything's on the up and up.
Yeah. And Sandy is asking, I don't know the answer to this.
Oh,
If you write a
I think
report and are
yeah.
looking to design examples and ask AI to provide designs, does that mean that the actual report will be added to the AI library?
I don't know. That's a really good question.
I
But
don't know
I always
either.
ask, whenever I ask for images, I always ask for it to give me a unique image and I keep revising it. So whether or not it's supposed to be creating always brand new when you're asking what it's asking for, but that would be an interesting thing to research. That's
Yeah.
kind of follows up to Kathy. She's saying if AI is training on my copy, how do I use it without my copy being tagged as AI generated? And remember, guys, if you remember the 5 pillars of kind of what a successful copywriter is, you're not submitting AI copy. Like all of our copywriters are using AI, but nothing that we're sending out has been generated exclusively by AI. We still go from top to bottom and revise the whole thing. So AI doesn't even know what our finished product is because we have finished it afterward. Editing and optimizing AI output is critical. That's the value that we provide. And actually, for those of you in the copy editing space, that can be, I mean, I want you to take full advantage of the whole opportunity because it's so big. But if you want to just edit AI output, that is an option as well. But I do believe that the writer who understands persuasion, uses the tool, and then edits the output to meet the persuasion is going to be the winner always. I was talking with Guillermo Rubio, G, who leads a lot of our AI stuff. And he says he calls it the tastemaker. Like just because AI does something, you don't know if it's good or bad. You got to be the tastemaker. In order to be the tastemaker, you have to understand persuasion. So persuasion into the AI output, you edit, final product. That is what we are doing in this world as writers.
Yeah. And Ray is sharing, if you set it to not share your input, it'll ignore it for training. So again, there's
Thank
going to
you.
be tweaks and adjustments and learning curves for everybody involved. But the big thing is don't be afraid of it. Jump in and just realize it's the springboard to these bigger opportunities that we've been talking about.
Those of you asking about the difference between Infinity and Circle of Success, Infinity is access to all of our programs. It's our catalog. We open the door and you can just have at the catalog. Circle of Success is more of us working with you. So if you are just on your own, going to get the programs, go do it myself, that's Infinity. Circle of Success is I want help. I want guidance. I want to be kind of knowing what I have to know, when I have to know it. I want to know my next step. I want to be able to, like I was looking at Krista, who landed her first client earlier, just the last few weeks. She came and said, "This is the situation. What do I do? What do I do?" And we're like, "Do this. Let's go this way, and let's write it back this way." Landed the client. Like that's what Circle of Success is, where she's not on her own saying like, "What do I do?" She's like, "Hey guys, what do I do?" And we all jump on and do it. So if you're somebody who wants community, Circle of Success community is hands down best community. I mean, it's interesting to even read the testimonials and things and the feedback. It's like the family aspect of it. They didn't realize how important the community was going to be to them. This is kind of a solo thing, right? We're entrepreneurs, we're owning our own business. It's nice to have other people who do what you do, who understand what you're doing. So if you're a community, you need that group of people who can lift you up, who can celebrate, who can do all the things. That Circle of Success. If you want mentors on demand, so here's what I need right now. I don't know what niche to pick. Is this a good idea? The client's asking for this. I've never done this before. Like the mentors are prepared at every single level. When we have a wide range of mentors, all working copywriters, all of them have come through Circle of Success and are there to support you because they've done what you've done. Now, wherever you are, you will have the mentor that will help you at that level, whether you're starting out or you're trying to leverage something opportunity, or you're trying to level up out of even the business that you've built and you're looking to do something greater than. That's what Circle of Success is. We also have masterminds and additional training, but the reality is more of if you want more than just programs, if you want community, you want support, you want people who are telling you do this, now do this, that Circle of Success. So hopefully that clears it up.
Michelle loves her COS family. And honestly, if you have any questions, talk to Barb and Barbara, Eric. They really can just have a heart-to-heart conversation with you about it and give you all the information you need to make a good decision for yourself. Oh gosh, between the chats and the Q&A and oh my, so much.
Cheryl is saying, and I'll go ahead and bring this one forward. She said Mark Ford made a comment about graphic artists losing their jobs to AI. And I disagreed respectfully in that. I think that the low-end image creation, the myth and the fact images that I used in my presentation, those were generated by ChatGPT when I was creating this presentation. But conceptual things are still going to, I believe that designers are also using AI tools. By the way, Jared, who is one of our in-house designers, I asked the company how are you using AI, and he gave me 6 ways he was using AI, which I love. So little one-off images for things, like you can create those now, and it's awesome. If you haven't done it before, try it. I said, give me an image that says myth, make it a stamp, make it red, put the background white, and we just kept working together, and then it gave me exactly what I wanted. So things like that, those are the low end, just like the simple writing, those are the low end things that are going to just be sucked up because it's faster for me to do it there. And for a designer, he's not going to sit there anymore and draw it. He's just going to use ChatGPT also. But for the person who wants, like our manifesto, full design, layout, cover images, you should see the amount of input that goes into that conversation. It's not like we handed over the manifesto to ChatGPT and said, design it up, ChatGPT, have at it, right? No, it was 6 different rounds of this is the feeling, this is the cover, this is the style. What if the image is like this? And that's where the designer's brain comes in. So just be thinking about like when you hear conversations about replacement of things, simple is going to be replaced either by the person who needs the simple thing and it's just faster, or by the higher level person just sucking up those jobs because they can. Jared wouldn't have taken the time to make a myth image for me before. because he would have just farmed it out. Now he can because it takes him 5 seconds. It's just not, so they're just sucking up those jobs. But the thinking, the creative aspect, the artists, right? The artists aren't going away. Can you generate art on AI? Yes. Can you generate a song? Yes. But do you want to read it, look at it, feel it? Does it do anything for you? It really is about the feeling that comes behind things. And that's what creatives bring. Creatives bring the heart, creatives bring the feeling. So I do believe the low end stuff is going to go, but just be thinking about what is it producing and what is the higher level position, the thinking, the creative aspect of it. That's the person driving the machine. So
Yeah. And when you say creatives, I put like slash marketers by that as well too, because what businesses need are people that have that marketing brain and that marketing excitement and that you can't get unless you're in it and you're typing away and your sleeves are rolled up and you're testing and you're reacting and all that great stuff.
that was something also that he brought up yesterday in yesterday's webinar, and that was the enthusiasm. Like,
Yeah.
if you guys write for companies that you really care about, like listen to Pam when she talked about those 2 stories, you could hear it in her voice that she, I almost want to say gave it S, but like cared. Like she really wanted to, she was like, this is big. I care about this. We have to bring this forward. Like that is something that if you just work in the spaces and work for companies that you believe in and want to help, enthusiasm trumps everything. AI does not have, although my AI, I have to say, is very polite. And I was just telling my husband the other day, I wonder if this is going to make everybody like a lot nicer on social media. If everybody had AI writing their social media responses, we could just be like a whole nice community of people who never say mean things to each other because mine is so polite to me and I'm polite to it. And that's all very, very nice. But I want like, this is such a huge pivot in the industry. Good writers understand good ideas. They feel things and they can articulate those ideas in enthusiastic ways. The ones who get the best clients, the ones who have the easiest time navigating, it's because they're enthusiastic. Like, give me anything about AWI and I'm going to deliver it with enthusiasm because I freaking love this company. I love everything about it. I love my team. I love what we do. I love you guys. I love every experience, whether I'm on a webinar, whether I'm coaching, whether I'm writing. I love so much what I do. And it probably shows if you, what is that for you? Like what product, what company, what industry where you just feel like, man, I would love to work with them because if you focus on that, this is going to be the most beautiful chapter of your life ever. When I look to the future, I don't ever have to worry about retiring and what my purpose is going to be and when my kids leave the nest and blah, 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 because I have this forever. I can do whatever the heck I want, whatever is exciting me most. Right now, it's education for special needs and the foster system. Like, I love that too. And I can do those things also, right? No matter what the future holds, I have persuasion. I have this financially valuable skill that will take me forever and allow me to live a life full of things that make me enthusiastic, genuinely enthusiastic. And I'm going to beat AI and other copywriters in that space simply because I'm enthusiastic. And I say that because I think that's one of the biggest factors in or character traits of what makes successful people successful. There was no way we couldn't hire Pam. Pam, we did not even have a job for her. She came to us and she was just such an amazing member. She was such an amazing community member. She was such an amazing advocate. Then she became an ambassador and she just was like doing it anyways. We're like, we have to create a job. She loves us. She loves our stuff so much. Be that person. Be that enthusiastic advocate for your clients, and you will just crush this next chapter and build a life that you really love living, that you wake up every single day. I wake up every day happy to go to work. I'm fine. Do I have bad days? Sure. Do I have massive anxiety about presentations like this for 48 hours before? Yes. But I love what I do, and you can love what you do too. This whole thing, this whole opportunity, AI is just making it easier and more accessible because we can do more faster, and the opportunity is growing to become indispensable. And if you compare it, if you put that with enthusiasm, doing it in a space that you want to be in, that you care about, good gravy, man. That's the writer's life that I'm thinking about. That's what you think about, a purpose-filled life. That's it. And that's what's in front of you guys right now. And I hope he sees it. I really do. We're never going to tell you you have fear. We're never going to tell you how, and if you don't do it right now, like that's just not our style. But I really hope you take advantage of it because this is an opportunity that just doesn't come around that often. And it's here. It's now, and I hope you do it.
Daniel said, I was just, I'm putting the quote around just because I don't think it's a just. I was just a reader and writer when I started with COS. I am still both those things, but I've added entrepreneur, marketing agency, investor, and philanthropist. So again,
I
it's
love that.
taking this skill and making it so much broader. And I do want, I can't find the comment now, but somebody was saying, you know, all this talk about speed, speed, speed. Don't we need to just slow down a little bit and
Brennan's
think
favorite phrase, slow it down.
and my answer to that is yes, AI does give you that space because it gets rid of kind of the chores and it speeds that part of it up so that you have more time for the
I love
thinking
that, Katie. That's huge.
and the well, I wish I could find you. I'm sorry, I lost your quote because I want to
I
give.
love it the way you're articulating it right now, that you're right. It gets rid of all the task mastering, all
Yeah,
this.
it
You
does
talk
the
about,
dishes, it does the bed, makes the bed.
yeah,
So you can just say, okay, let's think about this. What, where can I connect? What's the connection points? How does this enthusiasm show up? So in that way, it's so liberating. And that's what I hope everyone, embraces out of this whole conversation.
I remember reading about Warren Buffett, and he was saying the reason that he went into why he needs like the career of investing is because he just likes to sit around and think a lot. Like he needs all that stuff cleared out of the way. If he was a taskmaster, he wouldn't be successful. And so he went to investing because he just wanted to think a lot. And I thought that was so beautiful. I love it's like the 80-20 principle, right? From Richard, the original from Richard Koch, and the idea that like where are you getting the 80 from the 20? The 20% of your effort that's delivering 80% of your income, your results, your happiness, if you focus just on the 20, let AI take the other 80 of the stuff, the sand, the pebbles, the other stuff that just was taking up space from the big things, the things that you really feel good about, that you want to focus on, and that only you can do. I see some of you talking about big ideas, and yes, exactly, stories, big ideas, like that's you. Let AI take your tasks. I love that, Katie. I'm glad you brought that up.
Okay, two things, and then we're gonna wrap because
And then we're gonna wrap.
could go on. So Kevin is asking a question about, do I need a business website to start? This isn't that conversation, and there's been some other kind of conversations off the topic of this webinar, and I just want to encourage everyone to go to our website and look for the Inside AWAI webinars. We have, I don't know, over 50, probably close to 75 by now, on all these kind of really important, because I don't want to be dismissive of this, because I know these kind of questions are important and they could stop you from moving forward. But we do deep dives into all of them. And it is awai.com/inside dash.
There it is.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Somebody asked about copy editing earlier.
Yes, good. It's in the so please go there and I promise you will get your questions answered.
But no,
And
you don't need a website to start. You can just use LinkedIn, get a LinkedIn profile, search our website for LinkedIn. We have a webinar on LinkedIn. And you can have a Gmail address or you can mask it under it. We cover all of that and those things, but I don't ever care if someone has a Gmail address for what it's worth.
no. And but I would make sure you have foundational writing skills. I would make sure one thing I am going to say is I do believe the AWAI method is the place to start. If you are just starting out, you want to put your best foot forward and have the most solid foundation you can build. If Infinity appears to have a wait list, check in with Barb and Eric and they can help you with that.
And if you don't know which one's right for you, just talk to them. They're not going to push you into one or the other. Infinity doesn't, we're opening Circle of Success because that's where we think everyone needs to be right now. And we have this opportunity to move with them. But if you talk to the guidance team and they believe Infinity is better for you, they will talk to you about it. So if you don't need community, if you don't need support, you don't want mentoring and coaching, Infinity might be the right answer for you. We just like to make sure everybody has the opportunity, whatever they need.
Sunshine, you will be getting a link to the replay, so I want to make sure that. And I'm going to end on this note. She sent it to Pam, Krista sent it to Pam, but just in case she's too modest to do this, but because I believe this truly from the bottom of my heart, and I'm so proud of this team and this group. But Krista was saying, I don't think people realize what a great team all of you at AWA are, how sincerely interested in our success. It is honestly, for Krista, it was the best decision she made 4 years ago. And but knowing that she still has to do the work. So I just want to echo that. Pam, everybody on the team is such a reflection of how Rebecca and I view this company, this gift that we have to share with you, and the opportunities that we have to share with you. And I'm so happy that you recognize it, because it's a reflection of our members. The what you see and how you feel is a reflection of you guys. So on that little love fest note, I'm gonna say we're closing the Q&A.
All right, everybody. Well, I think you've heard enough from us today. I want to thank Pam for joining me in the presentation. Thank you, Pam, and Katie for being here in the Q&A, and all of you guys being here today. This is a conversation that's going to continue to evolve, but hopefully you feel better about it. You're less scared, and now you're going to start to see the reality. There's a phrase that we love here: you can't unring the bell. And now that you know, you will know. And so when you see things out there that seem like, oh, we got people running towards fear, we're just going to let them run and go do our thing, because getting caught up in the conversations and all the little stuff, it's just going to slow your progress. If you're going to take advantage of this opportunity, you focus on you. It's one of the most unique things about being a writer is you have full permission to just focus on you. This is your writing, your time, your career, however you want to shape it. We will be here to shape it with you. AWAI has been around for almost 3 decades now. We have navigated every turn in this industry, and clearly we are navigating this one too, but we are excited about this one, what it can bring for you. We want our writers to be at the top. We want you guys to be trained and to take all the little stuff that AI is going to take. You guys can have it. You can have it all. So move now, whatever that looks like for you. If you're brand new, take the AWAI method, get into persuasion, understand that piece. If you've been at it a while, let's get going. What's holding you back from moving forward? Let's address it. And if you have been at this for a while and you're looking to level up, this is your chance. Go full-blown agency and just start saying yes and expanding to increase your value and become indispensable to your clients. And whether you just start with a manifesto or you go all the way to Circle of Success, we're going to be here to help you every step of the way. So keep in touch, keep the stories coming to us, keep the questions, keep the ideas, because if there is any way that we can help you move forward, you can count on us. We're going to be here, and we will do it with enthusiasm because we love this oh so very much. So thank you all for being here today. We'll see you next.